Hey YouTube, what goes on? And welcome back to live at 6:45, 6:47 p.m. at 7:05. What's going on, everybody? Completely unplanned. Completely unplanned live stream tonight. I was sitting around. I kind of got bored, to be honest. I couldn't really go anywhere today due to some vehicle issues. Um, and I kind of was just hanging out, watching Halloween stuff all day. And I was like, you know what? I still have not unboxed my Four Horsemen figure Obscura Mask of the Red Death. So I thought we would do that. And then I also realized there's a lot going on in the toy world right now. Typically, you'll see me over at Infinity Equation Podcast on Friday nights. This past Friday, took a night to hang out for some holiday festivities with the GF and the family. So I was not on there with Dante. However, I haven't really done a live on my own channel in a while. Obviously, I'm not face on camera tonight because I wanted to unbox this. And again, just completely impromptu, unexpected. Just thought we would just do it and crack it open and see what this thing looks like. But we got to talk about like Giant Man. We got to talk about like G.I. Joe Classified Vamp. All these Marvel Legends that are popping up. All this stuff, right? So if you have any questions, let me know in the chat. I'll be glad to talk about it. There's a lot going on in the toy community right now. So I kind of figured I'd just check in with some people, and I was going to unbox this thing anyway. And I thought, well, what the hell? I might as well unbox it and kind of talk to some people in the background while we're going. Again, if you have questions about Giant Man, whether I funded it, if you have questions about current Marvel Legends announcements that were over there in England this past week, I'd be glad to talk about that. If you want to talk about, again, G.I. Joe Classified Vamp or any of the other 1027 announcements, I think it's called, for Hasbro, feel free to let me know. We'll talk about it. But again, just here to open this thing and kind of talk to everybody and check in and make some comparisons with this figure. I was going to do a review, but I waited way too long, so I figured it's time to just do it here. So let's see who's in the chat. All about the villains. What goes on, sir? Again, it's been a while since I've done this, so I apologize if I miss any comments. And I'm also usually face on camera anymore, so it's been a while since I've used my cell phone. Also, I have my headphones in for my audio. Hopefully, it's translating okay. I didn't even bring my computer home, my laptop home, to do a live stream this weekend from my office, so that was not an option to be face on camera. I just kind of threw this together last minute. Hey, Damien, what goes on? Hey there, everyone. Hey, Disavowed. What's going on, man? Thanks for stopping by. Again, very impromptu. Wasn't expecting to go live tonight. All About the Villain says WTF. I was on other side of house, and I just hear someone talking. I need a Tombstone. Great looking suited figure. Yeah, man. Anytime it's a suited figure, it's good. I do not have the previous Tombstone. I did not order that one. However, I might pick it up eventually at retail. I did pre-order the Scarlet Spider from Hasbro Pulse. I almost picked up Ben Reilly at a random comic book store for about $45, $50, probably about a month ago. It was one of my toy hunts. I want to check it out. And I passed on it, thankfully, because I had a funny feeling with that new Spider-Man Renew Vows buck, we get it on there, and here we are. So also people got the Mafex, the Maffox. Pretty happy that I did not pick that up because here we are now, right? Lucas, what goes on? How you doing, man? Damien says, missed out on Red Death, but was lucky on Jack-O-Lantern. Yeah, Jack-O-Lantern looks cool. So does, is it All Hallows Eve or whatever her name is? She looks cool too, but the only one I pre-ordered was Scarlet Spider for now. Oh, we're live, Lucas. We are live. It's not 7:05, but we are live, man. Yeah, so I figured again, it was just time to check with everybody, kind of see what goes on. Tombstone was I can't see the emoji's too small. Lucas says, hey, Disavowed. So everybody, let's crack into this thing. And again, we'll talk in the chat. I just wanted to kind of throw some random thoughts out there. So this is very cool. It's obviously the Four Horsemen, Mythic Legions company making the figure Obscura. Again, digging this thing. I really wanted the freaking grandfather clock with this was the big thing. Loving the Edgar Allan Poe vibes. We do get the magnetic connection right here, which is always cool. Very cool artwork as always going on right there. There is the figure, and again, I'm working with my cell phone here, so again, kind of hard to show things off, but there it is. There's that awesome grandfather clock, which I've had a grandfather clock in my collection that I've used for photos. Can't wait to compare those because this thing looks freaking huge. This guy looks awesome. There's Mask of the Red Death. So excited to have this in the collection. Again, apparently not excited enough to actually open it up before tonight, but finally got to it. Here is the artwork better on display. And again, looking very friggin' cool. I've gotten the habit of finally getting rid of boxes. I do not throw away boxes like this. They are so nice. Again, if I were ever to part the figure, just having the box in my collection is probably enough. But this thing looks really freaking great. Came with a crack it open. I did not even hesitate to get this when it first came out, when it was available for pre-order. So happy to have it. Let me know in the comments, is it still available? Sometimes the figure obscura is hanging around a little bit longer. Sometimes we see them at shows. I don't know. But this thing looks really freaking cool. I'm pumped to crack it open. All But the Villain says, they all pinless, all the new reveals. Good. It's good we're working toward that. I think having the more pinless, having the updated technology, people like that, obviously. Love the plague mask right there, by the way. So freaking cool. Love this thing, man. Pumped to get it cracked open. Lucas said, I never heard of Hollow's Eve, but she looks dope. Yeah, she really does. And again, I haven't read a Spider-Man comic in a long time, unless it was connected to like a crossover that I was reading. So very cool to see that. All But the Villain says, I didn't order the Red Death, but I do have Headless Horseman coming in a few days. That's awesome. Yes, that new Headless Horseman looks so cool. I have the original. So hard not to order the new one as well. I just, again, counting dollars, counting money, right? I had to hold back and not pick that up. So again, I have the original, not picking up that new one. Damien added, I mean, the Headless Horseman figure obscura, saving the ML one till December to pre-order. Yeah, it's so hard stacking these pre-orders right now. Lucas says, I actually sell my boxes. Okay, man. I've seen there's somewhat of a market sometimes for rare figures in boxes. Mine, I couldn't take it anymore. I had to start jettisoning them. But really great boxes like this I keep. Yeah, this one is a keeper for sure, man. She's Ben Riley's girlfriend. Yes, I did learn that on the Dan Who recent update. Great video by Dan posting some updates also on his Instagram of what was going on out there in, I believe it was England. So very cool seeing that stuff going on. Damien said, if I ever get Red Death, I'm looking at making him into a custom Mumra. Yeah, there's so many options for these things. That's the cool thing about it for sure. I didn't read Dark Web. I've heard again about it on videos, people putting out Marvel Legends content this week, but I'm not really curious. I'm not really sure much about that storyline. Yeah, so again, just talking random stuff, unboxing this guy right here as we go. So again, it's going to be some dead air here, nothing on camera. I apologize. I'll tell you what, while I open this guy, I just did a review on him. This thing's friggin' awesome. Obviously, articulation is going to be what it is when it comes to a Black Series. I know it's an Indiana Jones Adventure Series, but Black Series Star Wars are the team that made it. It's just kind of okay with the articulation, but it looks so freaking cool. Again, if you're an indie fan, highly suggest you pick that thing up. If you're a Knight fan, we talked about Mythic Legions collectors earlier, obviously opening up the Red Death tonight. If that's something that you are interested in, it looks so friggin' good. It really does. Again, I'm happy I picked it up. There's no buyer's remorse. My biggest thing when I purchase something anymore is, do I have buyer's remorse on it? Do I regret buying it, or am I happy I have it? That is something I in no ways whatsoever regret. Right now, I'm stalling because I don't want to put down my cutting tool. That's why I'm randomly just going crazy here talking. Trying to track down where the heck I put it. I'm just going to dig in the desk in a second here and get a razor blade out. But yeah, it's very cool. I'm happy with it. It could have been better. Again, articulation is what it is. Soft goods would have been awesome. Black Series does do soft goods. So again, we could have had some sort of soft goods with this thing, considering it's the same team. We didn't get that for whatever reason. But either way, happy to have it. As far as other stuff I wanted to talk about tonight. So again, I like to be transparent on my channel as best I can. So obviously a lot of people talking recently about the Marvel Legends Hasbro Pulse Giant Man crowdfunder. I never actively campaigned against it. I thought it was a good enough deal. I get that people disagree with that. They have their opinion. I have mine. I would never put something out there against something passing. If people want it, spend your money on it. That's how I look at it, right? But again, being honest, I did not fund it. I didn't do it, not because I disliked it, not because I did not like the price point for it. I did not fund it because I just don't have space anymore. If you watch my channel, I still have not even opened Galactus at this point. Galactus is literally getting opened when his tank ships to people, which is happening now. So expect a Galactus unboxing sometime soon on my channel. The space thing and money, not because it's too expensive, but because I'm really trying to just cut back. I'm trying to cut back. That kind of ties into G.I. Joe Classified talk as well. I'm just trying to stay in my lane, which really, honestly, my lane at this point is Marvel Legends and some other random stuff, stuff here and there. But it's gotten to the point where there's so much to buy. I've loved G.I. Joe Classified for a long time. You know that I also passed on picking up the helicopter. due to space issues. But it comes down to, can I afford it? Okay, yeah. But do I really need to buy it and put it somewhere? Yeah, I just can't do it anymore. G.I. Classified, I'm getting to the point now where I have a pretty large shelf of figures I've collected from since they came out. And I'm just at the point where I'm like, you know what? That's in the Vamp. Hopefully the screen does come back. And there we go. I think we're back, everybody. Sorry about that. The GF gave me a call. I gave her a heads up. I was live streaming. She must have missed that text. So I apologize when she called. It must have thrown off. Yes, gremlins in the system. Thanks for sticking with me, everybody. I apologize for that. Lucas said, "Where'd you go?" Sorry, man. A Tizzle threw us a random curveball there. I'm sure she'll apologize later on. Yes, the video cut out, but I think we're back on now. The gremlins were in the system, but I think we're okay now, thankfully. Lucas says, "Oh boy, maybe a Halloween monster." You know I love spooky season, man. StreamYard might be having problems. Again, I think that was on my end due to her phone call coming through, unfortunately. Six Pack Cynic already opened this. He says, no audio or video, or is Malachi showing up? Hopefully now we're back to being okay. I think we're okay now. House of Black. Malachi just stormed us on that one. Yep, you can hear and see now. Again, sorry about that. A phone call came in. I hit the cancel button right away, but not enough to cause issues from not happening. We are back. That's right. So again, yeah, it just comes down to it's a money thing. Can I afford it? Yeah. Again, you buy what you can afford. I can get those things. But I just realized, like, for instance, I love it, but I still haven't even opened my digital classified Trouble Bubble. It's behind me somewhere. And I just realized that at some point in time, I have to stop randomly ordering the new thing and enjoy things that I have. I will support things that I think are good deals. I'll support things that I think are worth it, obviously, regarding my opinion on it, which again, at the end of the day, what's my opinion? I mean, all of us YouTubers, there's people that buy stuff, right? So at the end of the day, you buy what you want, not what people tell you to buy and what you want. But yeah, I'm backing off the classifieds. I'm just going to pick up things I really want. Chuckles came in. I was pumped about that. But yeah, slowing things down, just picking up figures I really want from JoJo Classified, passing on the Jeep, the Vamp. Um, Obviously, other stuff comes up. We'll see. But yeah, so let's get into this thing, open it up a little bit here and see what goes on. So excited to have this in my collection again. Figure obscures a couple times a year, so I try to get them when I can. I want to go take a quick look right away at this. Oh, this freaking almost an alarm clock. At this grandfather clock again. I do have a smaller one here to compare it to, and I know some people might be thinking, why am I taking the time to focus on a grandfather clock as opposed to the figure itself? We will look at the figure as well. Probably not going to go too long tonight either, everybody. Probably looking at maybe like 45 minutes or under, depending on how things go. So out of the packaging, here is the grandfather clock, which is very freaking cool. I'll just throw the one I had up there right away before we get to talking about this one. Here's the one I had. So you can see right out of the gate, this one's much larger. I picked this up at a random like Hobby Lobby website, Amazon, I don't even know, it's Etsy, something like that. So right away, this one already superior regarding size compared to this one right here. I'll still keep this one. I'm sure I'll find ways to use it. This one actually looks a little bit more detailed, believe it or not, as far as what's actually in the face. Here, there'll be some cool stuff going on up top. Down below, some cool sculpture going on right there too. So again, very cool. Also, I do believe there is something that goes along with this, which I'll get out of the box momentarily, but also it comes with the front right here. That's actually came off out of the packaging, but it does just pop right back. I see there's actually pegs, holes right there. So we pop the front on here so you can see what that looks like with the front on. And again, this is a cool accessory. I did not just buy it because of it, but I think it's really awesome right there. So it's cool seeing the larger one that goes along with the figures to go with that. All About the Villain says, I want a Giant Man. My only issue was you can't do pay in 4 on HasLabs. So 200 at once. Yeah, it's a lot of money up front. I get that. Yeah, it is. And again, it's an investment. You know, the price wasn't terrible on it. I'm not saying the price was bad. Just one way or the other, $200 is a lot of money. So if you don't want it or you want it, you got to be careful how you plan. Lucas says, Hookhausen 2-pack is supposed to be delivered today. I believe it when I see it. Yeah, man, I had that pre-order and I canceled it. It looks so cool. And I was actually mad. I got to my local Walmart the other day, saw the new wave was there, but it was only the Wardlow figure. Did not see Danhausen. You know my policy on wrestling. I try to wait till the end of the year unless it's an exclusive, but now I'm probably waiting. Six Packs Knickknack says, is your window on the door frosted or hazed near the clock? I don't know. Take a look and see, man. Hang on. Let's take a look and see here. So is it cracked or hazed near the frosted or hazed and near the clock? I don't think so. I think mine's looking okay. Let me know in the comments here. But let's turn the light around here. There we go. That does not look to me on the door. I'm sorry, the door down here, frosted or hazed. No, I'm not seeing any frosting or hazing going on down below that I can tell. So I think that that's pretty standard. Again, not standard, but I can tell that that pretty much looks the way it should, I believe. I don't think I see any issues there. One cool thing with this one that I did pick up is that this opens up and you do get kind of like chains inside. So again, some extra detail right there with this one. So I'll be keeping both of those, but I did want to compare them so you can kind of see the difference in size and scale between them as we go through. 25 toys. What's going on, man? World building accessories are so underrated. Yeah, exactly. And this is something you can use in fig photography. There's lots of different ways you can use it. Crystal clear on mine. Yeah, so 6-packs. I guess you got a dud, man. You got the frosted one. Is it a variant frosted one? I don't know what's going on, man. Is it frosted? All right, so put that back there. And if you wanted to see this, actually, let's do this. If you want to see the clock compared to a 6-inch figure, let's throw Black Widow up here. So here's Black Widow, Marvel Legend, the recent Target exclusive from this past year, which is an amazing figure. So you can see how she basically scales. So this thing is much larger than her. So if you want to say she stands about, I don't know, what's Black Widow's height? 5'6", maybe 5'8", around in there. She's not 6 foot. You have to figure a 6 foot figure probably about here. So that's about what, 8 foot tall if you go by that type of scale. So again, cool to have another one in the collection. I will definitely use this somehow in the future with figure photography photos. Put it back there. But let's get to looking at the actual figure here. James, what's going on, man? How you doing, buddy? Completely random live stream tonight. Does the door open on this? I don't think that the front comes off. So this comes off the front. So technically the door does not open because this front part comes off. That will not happen. All right, so let's put that down and get the figure out. So again, everybody, just here to kind of randomly talk about stuff going on in the toy community. I am passing on a lot. I've just gotten myself to the point where I'm passing on a lot when it comes to different figures right now. I am passing, as I said, I did pass on the Giant Man. There's a random blade that fell out. All sorts of accessories to this thing I don't want to lose. Here's the bottom of the clock. Oh, so actually, that's actually going to get bigger too. So you put that on the bottom of the clock, it's going to get higher in the air. Let's see here. So yeah, as I said, I am passing. I did pass on Giant Man. I am planning to pass and currently passing on picking up the Judge Classified Vamp. I just spatial things. I just don't need another vehicle. I don't really use my vehicles. I have all these motorcycles. I did not order the Hiss. I passed on the helicopter. So it's one of those things where it's like, if I know I'm not going to utilize it, I don't want to order it just because, right? Right. So here's the top of the clock. We get a Raven basically, as this is Edgar Allan Poe. Raven pops in right on the top. It's a pretty cool piece right there. And then again, the bottom will also pop on. There are holes in the bottom that this will pop on. Let's see if I can do this off camera without knocking over the camera thing here. But again, it is what it is right now. There's so much to buy, and it's not so much, well, you know, it's too expensive. It's just you get to the point where you say to yourself, how much space do I have for my collection? Am I enjoying what I have, or am I spending too much time chasing the next big thing? I support a lot of these products in general. It's just that I think you can see how much taller that actually got. It's pretty cool right there. It's just you get to the point where you say to yourself, do I really need it? Again, I will not actively verbalize against something unless I think it's a bad product. But if I'm not going to buy it, I'm not going to buy it. As I always say, it's your money, so spend your money as you feel it makes the most sense. All right, so let's get the Mask of the Red Death out of the packaging here. And again, have to use the razor blade. So pumped to have this. Again, happy spooky season to everybody who is so inclined to celebrate it. We are running out of spooky days. I saw Christmas commercials today, which blew my mind. I get it. I get where we're at as a society. It's always about the next thing, but I was not personally prepared, as I love Thanksgiving and spooky season, to see Christmas commercials on television today. Black Friday deals already popping up, which, again, glad to get good deals. However, not really mentally prepared to be dealing with that, but I guess I need to be because it's happening. It's here, right? So many accessories with this thing, so many extra hands. Trying not to lose anything here. Let's get the figure out first and get him on camera. Looking very Malachi Black, as Six Packs and Knickknacks had just said momentarily. So here he is out of the packaging, and wow, we were just talking about soft goods before. The freaking soft goods on this thing, god dang, seriously, so freaking cool. Pop the head off for a minute there. This thing is just freaking, look at this. We have bendy wire. I think we have bendy wire going on here. Yeah, bendy wire does actually go where you want it to go with the hood. Oh, this is so freaking cool. So again, this was one where I jumped on it right away. I did not hesitate. I think it went live at like a 9 a.m. time, and I immediately hopped on picking this thing up. You can see the front of the mask does pop off. There's holes on the side. Yeah, it's very friggin' cool. Let's pop that back on. That looks better with it on than off. But very cool figure. Let me know in the comments, did you pick this up? Is it in your collection? Is it still currently available? I haven't checked in a while. I know sometimes they do sell out, but they do later on have it pop back up randomly or at shows. For instance, Legions Con coming up in November. Let me know in the comments, are you going to Legions Con? I'm pumped for that. I will be there on Saturday. So excited to see so many friends who will be coming out for that event as well. People from all over the place. I know Cheney from Toy Migos will be there. Jurassic Jesse will be there. I know we're probably going to run into Lago Figs from Lagoland. So again, so many people going to be at that show. Dark Joker Zen will be there. It's going to be just a rich, just an insane time. So many people will be showing up at that show. So pumped for that, coming up very quickly sometime soon. 25 Toys says, I'm passing on literally everything. There hasn't been anything I bought that didn't go on sale. Yeah, it's one of those things where if you can play long game, honestly, get to the point where you can just do pretty well and pick things up later on. Disavowed action figures. How thick is the cloth? It's thick. That's decent. That's two-sided right there. Again, this is a nice fabric as well. So they did a great job with this. I think they always do. So again, nice job with this. Lucas says, I'm not going to Legions Con. That's too bad, man. It would have been cool to see you there. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of people there, which is going to be exciting for sure. But again, putting the focus back on this figure. Let's see here. And again, let me know, did anybody pre-order anything this past week for the Hasbro Pulse event? You know, did you pick up any of the Marvel Legends? Again, pre-ordered. Did you pre-order any of the other stuff going on? I know we got the Ghostbusters HasLab reveal, which again, I'm not a Ghostbusters collector. I have the figures on clearance here that I picked up from the last movie Afterlife. However, I am not picking up a Hasbro HasLab based on them anytime soon. Lots of hands with this dude. Holy smokes. The packaging is always very well done, how they put things in here. So it's got all the hands on display. And then the one piece, which honestly is very cool as well, is the blood. We have the blood that goes on the bottom of the clock, which again, you can display all this stuff together. So lots of cool stuff. And I don't want to forget to mention this. Check it out. We also got the entire short story here with some of the artwork as well that came on the packaging. So very cool how they did package this in. They always have such great throw-ins with Figura Obscura. No surprises with this one that I'm aware of. Like we didn't get anything chucked in like we had with the Father Christmas, the hidden heads in the sack. But this guy is definitely really freaking cool. Let's see what else we got going on here in the chat. Lucas says, oh, I got that already. Bastion, what's going on, man? Morning, all. Hello, good evening from Pennsylvania in the United States. No cons this year for All About the Villains. And Jay says, I picked up 2 of the Vamps. You know what? I've heard a lot of people pick up 2. I have. I know Archie, good friend of the channel, I believe he picked up 2. Pardon me, to take a sip of the elixir. Yeah, so a lot of people were buying 2 of them. Last I checked, it was still available. It was still on Hasbro Pulse. I can't do it. Like right now, I'm looking at an entire shelf of motorcycles. I have my original Ghost Rider. I have Cosmic Ghost Rider. I have the Coil for G.I. Joe. I have the Ram from G.I. Joe. I have the Tiger Force Ram from G.I. Joe. And I have the Captain America Riders Wave motorcycle. And it's a whole shelf of motorcycles I literally don't use. I rarely do figure photography. So again, all the vehicles look awesome. And like the collector of me from when I was a kid is like, get every vehicle. But me now, after having some of these things, is just like, you know what? You just got to slow it down. You don't need them all. And down the road, to change your mind, you buy them on the aftermarket if you have to. Again, money and space, just by passing. So if you think about it, okay, again, not saying to people not to buy things. Buy what you want. That's how I look at it. Buy what you want. But in terms of my collecting, by passing on Giant Man, which is an amazing looking figure, again, nothing bad about it. I'm not here talking crap about it. However, between Giant Man and passing on the Vamp, that's what, like over $345 I just did not spend. So that's literally like multiple waves of Legends. That's literally multiple NECA, whatever I want to pick up later on down the road. It's just one of those things where, again, you think about it and you put it in your head and you're like, I'm not going to use it, despite the fact of having my collection. I'm not a completionist. I may as well pass on it. Jay said, I wish the Vamps would have been around $80. Yeah, again, cheaper is always better. I'm not going to argue. I mean, if it were, I personally don't think me buying it would not have changed if it was cheaper. Me buying it later on would not have been that big of I still probably would have passed if it was cheaper. But for collectors, yeah, cheaper is always better, right? As long as it's a good product. Vamp is $100 a pop. I was hoping 75. Yeah, and that's just it. I mean, I don't think it's a terrible price for it. You're getting a figure with it, right? I think I watched Articulated Ninjas. I know I watched Articulated Ninjas video this past week about it, and he had said that obviously, if you take into consideration that the figure is going to cost you $24.99 or $25, knock that off, and the Jeep's what, 75, 74. So 74 for that, is it worth it? Is it not? I know there's other vehicles that are out there, or the Mezco one's still in the ether. So again, my personal take is I'm passing on all of them. I didn't get the HasLab, his tank. I didn't get the helicopter, the Dragonfly. I'm just passing on all of them because it's a space thing and a money thing, and I'm glad they exist. I want them to fund. I'm glad they fund. It's just, for me personally, I'm just not going to do it. I'm going to take that money and buy other stuff with that money later on in the year. Lucas says, wait, I don't need them all. Novel thought, right? Not picking up everything. Damien says, still hoping to see RGB figs like Haunted Humans or Fright Features. Pack says, what's up, y'all? What's going on, Pack? How you doing, man? So let's take a closer look at this guy. And honestly, we're not going to be on real long tonight. We'll do some comparisons and get out of here. This was completely just random. I didn't expect to do this tonight. I didn't plan for it ahead of time or anything. It just kind of happened. So this is attached. Okay. That is attached. I'm glad it just tear it off. That is attached to the larger piece. So if you take the hood off, it's just going to hang there. Again, this part does pop off. We talked about it before. That's a soft plastic. The jaw articulates a little bit, as you can see right there. So let's close them up, but it does not stay. It's like it's not actually articulated. No, it's not. So it's just that it's such a soft plastic. That's going to stay there. That's actually kind of nightmare fuel. Did you watch Five Nights at Freddy's yet? Anybody? Let me know in the comments. I watched it with the GFA Fizzle last night. It was pretty friggin' awesome. But that's nightmare fuel. Taking that mask off. That's very Five Nights at Freddy's when they do take the masks off of the animatronics. That's crazy. But again, articulation, we're not going to go full blow review here on this guy. Plus, I didn't heat him up yet or anything, so I don't want to break anything. As far as shoulders go, so not getting okay. So he's not bending easy. I'm not going to force him. So there's the elbow there. Again, hands will rotate. Obviously, I don't. I honestly did very little looking up on this guy. I don't know what bends and what doesn't. I don't know what has to be heated up and what doesn't. Okay, so the shoulder will go. Obviously, I don't want to force it and break anything. Shoulder will go. It will click about that far up. Sorry if I bumped the camera right there. Arm goes about that far out. Again, hand rotates. So again, I have not done much research, so I don't have to take a chance on breaking this guy. Rotation at the elbow for that as well. This arm will go up, but it feels kind of stuck. I'm not going to force it right now and have an issue. Oh, there goes a little bit later on. Let's rotate that hand out right there. So again, this is a very cool looking piece. The soft goods are awesome. And honestly, I'm not going to strip them down, as weird as that sounds. I know some, if you want to see, again, a comprehensive review, check some out later on other people's channels where they do rip it apart and kind of move it around a little bit. I'm not going crazy. I just wanted to get it open right now to kind of see what it was like, considering it is spooky season. But again, the soft goods are going to somewhat encumber its ability to move, just because they are all going to do that. Let's put it back down right there. So again, very cool. If you have the Malachi Black AEW Unmatched or the Supreme, I got to think you'll pair these up. I know Six Pack Knickknacks posts some photos where it looked really freaking cool. Pax's Mask of the Red Death. Yes, there he is right there. All but the villain says it looks good, but just worried how stiff Red Death. Yeah, honestly, moving him around right now, again, I don't want to force anything and break him on camera. He does feel stiff. You could very easily, take a hair dryer, hair blower, and kind of heat him up a little bit to move him around. I'm not forcing anything. I've learned the hard way breaking figures over the years. I don't want to do that right now, but he is a very cool looking figure. 20 other toys added. I do like the different reds in the cloaks. Yeah, for sure. If you can't tell on camera, this is a lighter red. This is a darker, more of a maroon. And then even the mask itself does not quite match the same red as all the rest. But yeah, very cool piece. Give Red Death some glow eyes for props for Halloween. Yeah, for sure, man. And again, there's different things you could do with this. Obviously, you get into props, you get into different things. So let's looking around my toy room right here real quickly. And again, I showed the knife off somewhat before. So you do get the knife right there as well. And you do get all the hands right there. He's bumping against the clock because of his damn hands. Bring him to the center right there. So again, lots of stuff with this guy, which is very cool. So just kind of tossing around ideas. I picked this up at home a few years ago. Jimmy Hahn Rises gave me the shout out. If you wanted to throw him behind something gothic, for instance, like a gargoyle, that would look pretty cool right there. Let's slide this out of the way so he's not bumping against it real quick right here. It's caught underneath the core. There we go. So slide that off to the side here. So again, if you wanted to kind of mix it up a little bit with what you had going on with your Mask of the Red Death, you could obviously put him with something like this. I'll see if we can fit both on here at the same time. So that is, again, from At Home. It was like, I want to say around $10, something like that. So again, kind of have the gargoyle behind him look really cool. Going for like a cemetery vibe sort of thing right there. Again, kind of a fun piece for sure. Yo, Joe Jerk, what's going on, man? How you doing, Brian? What's up, sir? I love the recent review, by the way. I did check that out. I don't know if I commented or not. But as always, you say it's going to be a boring review, but then it's actually entertaining, man. I think it was the three-pack. I just watched the three-pack from Hasbro Pulse. The Crimson pack, right? So I'm looking at the Red Death, so it kind of matches up, right? James says, what goes on, Yo Joe Jerk? So again, that can be something cool and kind of mix around. I use this for my Daredevil figure often, kind of like more like the press. Oh, there he goes. Or kind of emo-looking gothic figures. It's not Disavowed unless I knock something over, right? Let's get that out of the way. And again, for rather random comparisons, because I just happened to mention it a second ago, let's go back here and I have my earpiece and you can actually hear me walking back. And let's grab Daredevil. So here is the Hasbro Pulse exclusive 3-pack Daredevil. Let's throw him on here back to back. So again, looking for that red look, right? There you go with that. So you can see compared to a 6-inch Marvel Legend recent current buck, new buck that they have out there, how that scales right there. And you can see that he is rather taller, does scale much taller than you would expect right there for sure. So again, looking pretty decent with the Daredevil figure. What else do you want to compare him to here? We're looking around. I'm not trying to fit too much on the Spinneroonie right there, but let's put Daredevil back. And already comparing the clock to Black Widow. So let's chuck up there on the screen my personal favorite. I know you love him as well. Here is The NECA Ultimate Elf figure with the Mask of the Red Death right there. So you can see how that kind of scales up as well. So again, being a 7-inch scale for NECA, still having the Mask of the Red Death standing relatively taller. Obviously, I would say, to say the least. Let's get Elf out of there. And I'll tell you what, we're going to get to wrap things up here. I didn't plan to be on real long tonight. Again, I was just sharing some thoughts earlier on. To kind of just sum things up. I'm trying to be more selective in what I buy. I'm backing off G.I. Joe Classified, unless the figure I really feel a connection to. Chuckles is great. Check out Yojo Jerk's review on him. But it's just one of those things where there's so much to buy anymore, and space is such an issue that you get to the point where you ask yourself, do I need it? Do I want it? Of course, I want everything. Do I want it versus do I need it? And I'm realizing that I'm not experiencing as much FOMO as I used to. So when I am passing on things, my rule of thumb used to be, if I have extreme fear of missing out and then I'm upset after the fact, just buy it and be done with it. However, now I'm getting to the point where I'm realizing if I do wait on things, for instance, the Giant Man, so cool, I'm so happy it exists, but I don't have any FOMO right now. I don't regret not getting it. And that's not because I think it's a bad figure. It's because I'm realizing that I don't have to have everything in my collection anymore. All right, so I'm gonna have to turn off the rotating base for this. Hang on one second here, so unplug it. Actually, let me turn it off down here. So it's just one of those things where you get to the point where you realize you don't need to buy everything. You buy what you want. And again, there's a lot of influencers out there that'll say good things and bad things. At the end of the day, buy what you want to buy, but also don't be scared to pass on what you want to pass on. Because it gets to the point where you realize it's at the end of the day, it's your money, it's your collection. Don't let influencers, basically get you to the point where you listen to what they're telling you to do. It's your money. Buy what you want, pass on what you want, and just kind of roll with it. I guess is my biggest thing. It's okay to not buy something, as common sense as that is, but yet as much as I think people need to realize that and say it, it's okay to say, I'm not buying everything. And then, you know what, later on down the road, if you really want it, you passed on it, you acquire it, you sell some stuff off, do what you got to do. Damien says, my number one requested horror character is Norman Bates. Dude, good call, man. That would be awesome to get a Norman Bates. Oh, actually, now that you said that, that reminds me, I did not bring up, oh, actually I did, I'm sorry. I was going to say I forgot the Raven, but he's up there already. So yeah, at the end of the day, spend your money the way you want. If you want to pass on something, pass on it. It is what it is. Don't feel guilty because you're not buying something. And again, I'm not going to sit here and hope something doesn't actually get across the line. Because if somebody wants it, I'm not going to be the person who's going to sit here and try to stop it from happening. But I'm also not going to lie and pretend to like something that I don't like, which I think is common sense. But nowadays, it kind of feels like you have to say that sort of stuff, right? Only a few items are actual fear of missing out. Yeah, exactly. It's up to every collector to decide, what it is that they want in their collection. Jay says, yeah, space is always a problem when you collect anything. It really is. Whether you collect action figures, whether you collect sneakers. I know these kids nowadays and their StockX and their sneakers, right? Whatever you collect, space is going to be a problem. And I've always said to myself, I'm not going to be that collector that boxes things up and leaves things in bins, and have all these bins of figures. I always say to myself, I'm going to maintain a collection where I can have them on display. And nothing against people who bin things, I get it. But my rule has been, my litmus test has been, if I can't find a place to put this figure within a relative close amount of time of having it, either I got to get rid of it, or I shouldn't have got it, or I shouldn't get it. I want it somewhere on display to enjoy and know it's here. If I forget I own it, then why do I care I have it? Damien says, looks like Ghost Trap and PKE is almost fun. Good. And again, the Ghostbusters collectors are a big group of people. So I really thought that would probably fund pretty quickly, obviously. Lucas says, tonight I'm opening toys and I'm watching AEW Collision. It was a great episode last night, man. I won't spoil anything, but you'll enjoy it. I wish. All right, everybody. I think we are going to get out of here. Again, I just wanted to check in with everybody, say hello. It's been a while since I went live here. And again, I like to document most of my unboxings. I do have a lot of stuff I got to open. I got to open on camera. Jada Toy Street Fighter. I have two of those back behind me. If you watch my toy hunts, you know where to find that. Got to open those on camera. So that'll be a live stream sometime soon, or on the Mythic Legion podcast. I'll finally open those on camera for prosperity purposes. My Trouble Bubble I got to open up. That might be a live opening as well. Galactus is getting its entire own review, even though like it's gonna get like 6 reviews because it's old. I don't care. I want it for prosperity in the channel. So lots of things will be open in the coming times, everybody. But again, thank you for hanging, everybody. Have a happy spooky season, Halloween. Enjoy the next 2 days because literally by Wednesday morning, you're gonna be bombarded by Christmas and to a lesser extent Thanksgiving commercials. So enjoy spooky season for what's worth of it, everybody, for what is lasting here. So thanks for watching, everybody. Also, thank you from a live perspective of my channel for getting us over 5,000 subscribers on YouTube. So thankful. Also, all of you that do follow on Instagram at Disavowed_12. Really appreciate it. The fact that anybody takes their time out of their day, the 17 of you right now who are watching, you could be doing anything right now and you're checking out my video. I appreciate that. So if you're new, please consider hitting that subscribe button. It's free for you. It does not cost you a penny, and helps the channel grow tremendously in the march to 6,000 subscribers. While you're at it, go ahead and click that bell for notifications because that way YouTube notifies you and tells you when we do post new content here to the channel, like our weekly toy ends reviews and live streams. Leave a comment down below, hit that like button, and for daily toy content and daily toy updates, try checking us out over at Instagram and Twitter at Disavowed_12. Hey everybody, if you're going toy hunting this week, please try to remember the 3 P's of the toy hunt: patience, persistence, but most of all, politeness. Take care, stay healthy, and I'll be seeing all of you at the pegs.